The weather is terrible today. I was almost killed. No, I'm actually not even kidding. Like, I almost actually was killed today. So, what do I want to do? I would like to read a thriller book. This one right here in particular, No Exit. Why? Because I'm feeling very stressed out right now. I'm feeling like a little bit like shaken up by all the situations that occurred today, and it was just like, basically today was just an entire mess. From the moment I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's just been a downhill like, but it's fine now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this, because what I feel like is when I'm feeling really stressed out, I get to read about other people being really stressed out, and then it's like I feel less alone. So yeah, the reason why the main character in this book is stressed out is because she gets stranded at a gas station, and then basically she peers into the back of someone's car and then sees a kid in there, so then she decides to follow car that has the kid in the back of it. So like, yeah, that's why she's going to be stressed out, because like, what are they doing to the kid? Where are they taking her? All that stuff. At least I think that's what it is. Yeah. And it's like Blizzard vibes. I'm gonna read it. Isn't it so strange? Like, imagine if I actually did die today. Like, well, I wouldn't be sitting here. Okay. I don't know if anyone else was like this, but this author here, Taylor Adams, right? Now, I just noticed this because I just saw just then the dedication for Riley. I'm assuming that's Riley Sager. It might not be. But I thought that, like, both these authors, I thought that they were women. The reason why I thought they were women was just because all their main characters, from what I was observing, were all women. And, like, Riley and Taylor, like, they're both, like, unisex names. So, like, I don't know, I just thought they were women. But they're not. Did anyone else think they were women? I did. So, yeah, I'm excited to read this, including the epilogue. Oh, I don't want to accidentally spoil something for myself. Don't worry, I'm not looking at the words. I'm looking at the word on the page. There's, like, 276 pages. So, like, that should be fun. And I'm just, like, hoping that there are no pages missing. Do I need to do my little check? Okay, I'm really quickly just going through it, and then I'll do like a proper check later, because I don't know if you guys know this, but yeah, ever since one of my books was misprinted and missing 15,000 words, which was essentially chapter 31, 32, 33, and 34, 4 chapters, I'm now like needing to check every single book that I have to make sure there's no misprints, because like my heart is starting just thinking about that. Honestly, no, I'm kidding. I almost just said that me almost getting crushed by a truck was, he was in the wrong, but me almost getting, yeah, killed by a truck driver. Which, guys, did you know that, like, I'm actually terrified of trucks? Like, that is, like, a fear that I genuinely have, and I feel like I've actually talked about this before. And then, yeah, isn't it so ironic that I was almost killed by a truck today? Yeah, that's so funny. So funny and hilarious. Well, yeah, but I almost just said that was more, that me finding in the other book the missing pages was more stressful than me almost getting killed. It wasn't, but, like, yeah. Okay, so yeah, all the pages look like they're here. So yeah, I'm gonna read this, and I feel like I was in the middle of a thought. Well, I can't remember it now, but I will update you later. Okay, so I haven't even opened the first page yet. Still here. But can I just say that I'm expecting myself to be very stressed out about reading about this girl's experiences, because apparently everyone describes this book as, well, heart-stopping twists and just like constantly just being thrilled, which is what I need, okay? Especially after this incident today. The start of the book starts with a random email. Oh, and Merry Christmas. So it's like Christmas snowy vibes. I actually really like that. And you know, one day, if I'm ever like in like the future years, if I ever experience like a snowy Christmas, because literally I've never seen a snowy Christmas, never even seen snow, I would like to read this. Yeah, imagine reading this on like a mountain, in a mountain cabin, in a blizzard, and it's like Christmas time. I feel like that would be the perfect vibe to read this book. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do that at this stage. Dusk. So it appears that there's not gonna be like chapters. It's more just like 7:39 p.m. So her car is called Blue. Fun fact, blue is one of my favorite colors, and I was actually considering naming my car Blue for like a split second. Before then, I just settled on King Julian. Yeah, so what kind of name is better, King Julian or Blue? In my opinion, King Julian is like the best name. Honestly, really, King Julian wasn't even like supposed to be like the name. It was just supposed to be the name until I thought of a better name, but like there is no better name than King Julian. Monster is so much better. I'll show you which ones are the best ones. I suppose it doesn't look like that on camera, but do the words? No, okay. Maybe it's just my eyes, because on here the words look fine, but then kind of off camera they look a little bit faded. Okay, so our main character, she does this little thing where she does like gravestone rubbing. So she goes up to a gravestone and like puts a piece of paper on it and then like scratches like a pencil over it, and then like gravestone rubbings. Okay, but she said that she in Denver went to capture Buffalo Bills, as in like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Surely not. I mean, they're talking about, like, real people in here. Buffalo Bill, like, he's fictional. I deeply apologize there. Buffalo Bill is a... Oh, I just lost my page. Buffalo Bill is a real guy. He was actually an American soldier, and he killed 69 buffalo. So, just ignore me. I'm not saying anything. I told myself I was going to stop talking about kids' movies, so I'm not going to say anything. But I will say that this name in Australia, they changed it in Australia to Zootropolis. Why did they do that? I mean, there were some wild theories in relation to an adult film star having that name and a copyright issue, but, like, I genuinely don't know if that's true or not. Like, no idea whatsoever. I'm not even 50 pages in, and I'm already really enjoying it. Like, I like the way it's written. I like the descriptions. It's already a little bit thrilling, and I also, like this cover, actually. So yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this. This is a very, very, very good sign. So one of the characters in this book is a mouth breather, right? Have you seen the pictures for that? Hang on. One of the characters was like, oh, I've got a girlfriend. Yet now it's asking our main character for their phone number. Pause. I'm, like, totally wrong here. I just read the back, right? And I'm reading this book wondering why she's not chasing the car down. It's because they're trapped at the rest stop. She's not chasing the car down. I don't know where I got that from. She's not chasing the car down with the girl in the back. The girl is just in the back, and she's at the rest stop with people who one of them owns the thing where the girl is in. Oh, wow. I never saw this coming. Come on now. The main character, she was basically being told. All the clues were there. I guess people only see what they want to see. Some derogatory terms have been used in this book. I feel like it's been unnecessary. You know what I'm sick of? Characters in thriller books or scary books knowing that they can lie. You don't have to be completely honest. She's annoying me. The main character, she's getting on. It's like, why is she saying that? Just say you won't say anything. Like, just say, yeah, I won't say anything. And now she's threatening them. Must she do that? Oh. What? Who kissed who on the lips? I actually finished this book last night. No, not last night, the night before that. And here are some of my thoughts when I was reading. I was like, that stupid nail gun. And then they mentioned Forensic Files, right? That show was so nostalgic for me. Like, I could actually cry from the nostalgia. And then in the book, it mentions a long-legged ghost. Have you seen Longlegs? Have you seen it? Honestly, in my opinion, I loved it. Did I find it scary? No, I didn't. But people in the movie said it were screaming. Honestly, there was a scene in it that was very similar to, like, The Prisoner. Have you seen that movie? Where, you know, it's like the house and there's, like, kind of abandoned and there's all this sheet wrapping in there. And it was also kind of giving, like, I don't know, I just like detective movies. Which is why Seven is my favorite one. It's about detectives trying to find a guy who is killing people based on the 7 deadly sins. But that's my favorite movie, like, of all time. I like these kinds of detective movies. So really, I really liked Longlegs. Like, I didn't find it scary, but I don't watch those movies to be scared. I watch it for the storyline, for the plot, for, like, the way everything weaves together. Now let's just give you, like, my review for this. I wasn't actually expecting it to all take place at one specific place, the gas station. No, not the gas station, the rest stop. Why did I say it was a gas station? It's a rest stop. So that's my bad. That's on me. Like, I thought that she was going to be chasing down the car. She wasn't. It's just all at the same place. Just for some content warning, there are some, like, questionable lines, some slurs that are used. Some parts of the book made me ill. Door hinges. Yeah. This book, it was alright. I have a lot of questions. Which I'll talk about in, like, a spoiler section at the end. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was alright. But one question I do have, though, like, I've actually never been to, like, a rest stop. But how the rest stop is described in here was, like, there was just random people in there. There was no, like, attendant, no person at the store. They kind of, like, closed the store part. So does that mean, like, rest stops, they're just, like, open? Or is it because it was a blizzard? I've never been to a rest stop before. At least I don't think I have. Can someone please explain it to me? Oh, it was also, I would argue, fairly predictable, unfortunately. But, you know, I don't really read these books for that case to be surprised or anything. It's just I read the books to read the books and to get the storylines. Yeah, that's all I have to say. That's it. Time to move on to the next book. So I'm gonna be reading this book next. As you can see, I've already started reading it. I've heard so much about this book. I think Agatha Christie is like kind of a classic author in terms of the murder mystery space. So this was probably one of like the most popular ones. Well, I'd say that this one would have to be either her most popular one or like one of the most popular ones. Like even if people haven't read any of her work, which I haven't, like you know about this. I've watched several movie adaptations, but I've never read anything, so I thought this would be a good one to start with. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's got a little bit of a slow start, and I feel as though like a lot of people's criticisms towards it is that it's boring or it's long or it's drawn out. Personally, I don't mind books that are a bit slower and a little bit more like drawn out a little bit. I think it's a time and place, and I think people just need to remember like when this book was written. You know, it's so funny because people are always like, oh, that book is so boring, but it's like, okay, to you, it's boring to you. But I'll keep reading this and then I guess I will update you. Basically, I'm up to chapter 8. There's only one theory that I have, and it's just because this lady is so annoying and she keeps yapping about her daughter being like, well, my daughter, and I'm like, shut up, you're so annoying, lady. So I have a feeling it's gonna be her, just because like she's so annoying, and it's like, well, you wouldn't think it would be her just because she's so annoying and irritating, but like it could be. But aside from that, I have no idea. So like the body's like just been, the first body has been discovered, the guy that died, and I'm just like, I really like how everything is being set up because there's like a whole bunch of like things and clues that have been left at the crime scene, and I'm just like, why did this kind of stop? Because I read a lot of like thrillers and stuff, like nothing, it's just, I don't know, I'm really liking it. There's like lots of little pieces of French in the book, but I managed to part 2 the other day. And look, we have a diagram. I love diagrams, pictures, maps, all that stuff in books. I really do. I have to get ready for work, and yet I'm so invested in this storyline, and I just don't want to stop reading it. I was reading this book and something was bothering me, right? Ever since that one dark window, I'm now very paranoid when things don't appear right. And if you see this, will you now tell me, please, at what hour you last saw Mr. Rashid, right? And it's like the valet considered. And then he doesn't answer. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Why would he not answer? So then I went online and I found a PDF of this book, and I went to chapter 3 because it's just chapter 3. And I scroll down, you know, and I find it. I'll put it on the screen. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. So like, I'm gonna have to write that in when I get home and have to write the correct thing. But like, when will books stop making me miss out on certain things? Like, I'm missing a line. Good thing I've got good detective skills. And I was just like, hang on a second. Why does he not answer that? I don't know what's wrong with my additions. I have a theory. I think the murderer, I think it's got to be the train conductor. Just because they just keep interviewing all the passengers, but like, I just feel like it's got to be the conductor because he's the only one that's been out of his place like so many times to get like someone a drink and to fix someone's bed. So he's always moving in and out, and there's always a reason for him to be doing that. So I think it's just got to be him. Yeah, what I found is that aside from me making my 3 guesses for the Mrs. Hubbard lady, the one who kept talking about her daughter, which I don't think it's her, and then the conductors, there's actually 3 conductors. So like, it can't just be one, there's 3 conductors, and then the doctor. That's a good idea, but aside from that... Well, have you not seen that? Aside from those people... That's from like season 2. Hey guys, if I don't pass the trip this semester, my dad's gonna shit my mouth. Okay, well, anyways, with this, I'm almost finished with the book. But aside from like those people who... I don't even think the doctor... That's just such a random guess, but aside from that, I literally have no idea who it is. And I've got no guesses aside from them, and I think they're all wrong. But then after that, I don't know who, because there are some people. It's like, oh, it could be them or it couldn't be them. So the bottom line is I don't know, and that's a good thing though, because, but I actually have no idea who it is, and it's also, I keep saying it's been the Orient. It's actually Orient. Oh, it's the valet. Okay, so I've literally just finished this, and what can I say except that I love this. I love this. The ending was so good, and I don't know how after so many years I've actually never been spoiled this, how I've never actually been told the ending. Like, how have I just not known? But now I do, and this was so good. Like, it's one of those stories where I want to go back and reread, and like everything was just so like satisfying, and I'm just so happy with how everything turned out. I'm gonna rate this book like, I don't know if it's 5 stars. Some things that I was just like, I don't know. But I think it would be like, maybe like 4.5, like 4.75, like really close to a 5 stars, but like not entirely 5 stars, 5 stars. I don't know, maybe it's a 5 stars. No, it wouldn't be 5 stars because if it was, I wouldn't be saying maybe. I'd be saying it definitely is. So I reckon like a 4. I'll like round it up to like a 5. Shall I? I don't know, but then I don't know. Maybe I should just give it 5 stars. Like, I don't know, this was good. Like, this was so good. And now I want to watch the movies. Because, like, I literally just can't believe I've never known. Like, this is probably, like, the most popular one. I just never knew about it. And no, I won't be spoiling it. But, like, this was good. So, the next book I'm going to read, right? You're probably wondering, okay, so which horror book are you going to read? Which thriller book? Okay, so let me explain. The next book we're going to read is... Oh, actually, I'll be able to put this book down here with my no exit one. Okay, the last book we're going to be reading for this video is going to be this one here, Brave New World. Now you're probably wondering, this is like science fiction. Yeah, it is. But also, some people read this book, and I've gathered there's like kind of two opinions. Some people read this book and they're first like, oh wait, actually the place where they're living, like I'd like to live there. Other people are like, but that's actually terrifying that all these people are being so heavily controlled, but like they just don't care. And that's terrifying. And you know, I just think any book set in like the future is scary. Also the fact that like this year hasn't even been yet. Like 1984, like yeah, that's scary, but like also 1984, like the year's already been and gone. This year hasn't been and gone yet. So some people find this like really terrifying just because of the contents. So even though technically it's not like a horror, actually is it? I don't know. No, it's not. It's literally science fiction, but I think, did I recall seeing somewhere something about thriller or horror? No, I didn't. This is going to be the third and the final book for this video of just reading like spooky books, I guess. And yeah. Oh, literally the front is mentioning 1984. Literally 1984 is like both talked about in both of them. Because yeah, the thing about 1984 though is that like everyone was kind of in pain, but in this book it's like everyone's happy. So it's like everyone's happy, so they're just complicit in like being controlled. I guess I'll just read this one and I'll just see. My nails kind of match the cover. I'm stopping this. Stop. Why do I feel like I always say this? It doesn't matter like what book it is. I'm like, oh, my nails match the cover. I'll be going. Let's finish starting this book. So, yeah. Okay, I'm confused. I've only just started this book, but I don't understand how anyone could like want to live in this society and think that it's like a utopia. Who came up with that? I'm being serious. Like, I'm started reading this. It's like, at the start it's all about like the embryos and like conditioning the children and everything. What part is people want this? Who wants this? Oh my, okay. I'm glad I'm a beta. What? We have found a new bookmark. This is going to be like a really quick update because the dryer is on and that's really loud and annoying, but I'm on page 30 and like it's kind of like written so far in little vignettes, you know what I'm saying? Like it keeps like jumping around a bit. It's very strange, this world. I mean, it's very immersive. Like I'm imagining this world and I'm a little bit creeped out. Actually, I'm very creeped out. So I don't know what part where people are like, oh, I'd like to live in this world. I'd like to live in this society. Who is thinking that? Because, well, I don't know yet. There's been no mention of Bernard Marx so far. Or if there has been, well, was there a mention of him? There's the main character of this book. I don't know. It has not been. We're not following his story yet. I need to finish this book soon because there's more books I want to read. I've got other books that I want to read this month, but like I can't move on until I finish this so I can get this video done and upload it. It's very weird. I think that's the best way to describe it so far. It's weird. That's my current update, and I guess we can talk soon. Remember when I was like, oh, have we met him yet? We literally meet him on page 30. Oh, not him. The world was full of fathers, was therefore full of misery. Bernard's an alpha. The way this is talked about so much. Also, particularly the men in charge, the stuff they're saying is vile. What is going on? Basically, how the world is set up is there's like this caste system. So there's like alphas and betas and gammas and, you know, whatever. And these people are genetically bred and conditioned once they're born to like be in their caste system. So there's like one caste system, and they are genetically bred to just only want to do like manual labor and work. And so like they're happy doing that. I do think it's funny. There was a scene where like the Bernard guy, he's like to, what is her name? Lenina. He was like, go on a walk with me, and she's like, what do you mean? Just walking and talking, why would we do that? Like, I don't want to do that. And then there's like this reservation place, which is where like, this is how the old ways are, like where people like age naturally, because in, you know, the current society, people are given all this stuff so they don't age and they don't look old. And when the girl, Lenina, she sees an old person, she's like, what's happened to them? Like, that's grotesque. And I just think, honestly, the way some people harp on about age in today's society and are like, oh, you need to do this and do that and do this so then you don't age. It's like, it's all so dramatic. They would love this society. The people on TikTok who do all that stuff, that's like, oh, don't drink through a straw and don't smile because otherwise you're going to get smile lines, you're going to get wrinkles, and you're going to look old. Those people, they would love to live in this society. There's this critique on consumerism because, like, in this society, happiness, like, everyone's happy, but it's manufactured. So, like, it's not like real, like it's all artificial, and everyone's on this drug Soma so they can be happy, and like people are kind of dissuaded from like making deep connections. I don't know, I think this book gives her like an idea and like, well, like what's the point of life really, because these people, like, they're created to be happy and to just appreciate the life that they have, but like don't form close connections with people, and it's just like you just live in this world. Like, I just don't see the point. But then it's just kind of like, really, what's the point of life, like, at all, you know? If I had to say now, in my opinion, I think it's, you know, having, like, connections with other people. I think that's, like, the point. But in this world, it's, like, don't, like, form too close of a bond. In this world as well, I just read the line. It was talking about how they replaced art with happiness or something like that. Shakespeare is banned. I don't know, the world just seems very like lifeless and sterile. Like, lifeless in the sense that like, well, everyone's bred to be like a certain personality, you know? And I don't know, I would not like to live there. I am not with people that want this kind of society. There's also like, I think, a critique on the instant gratification of getting things, and talking about, you know, technology and being scared of that. You know, this portrayal of a society that's like so obsessed with like consuming things. And I think even though this book was written so many years ago, I mean, you can tell that it was written so many years ago, which is some of the things that are said. Unsettling to think about like how much it like connects to the real world today. There's also, I think I said this, I don't think I did. Did I? The people are like not creative. I am so tired. Okay, so I have just finished Brave New World. I don't really think I have any more thoughts to say, really. The ending... Okay, this book was literally... When was it? I think it was written or published in like 1931. So I don't know if like I can like spoil the ending. A very like prevalent character dies, and I think his death is significant in quite a lot of ways, because how he dies because he is disgusted with himself, because he was so against what was happening in like the Brave New World, in the society. He was so against it, and so like when it eventually like then he ends up partaking in the things that he was so against, he sadly takes himself out. And I don't know, I think it says a lot about the human condition, and you know, trying to have grace with yourself, and the impact morals have, and pressure, and all this stuff. And I'm rambling because I'm so tired, and I feel like I'm not all there because I'm so tired. Okay. So with this book, am I glad that I have finally read it? Yes. In my opinion, do I prefer this or 1984? I think that they're both very different books, but my favorite is gonna have to be 1984. So let's just do a little recap of the books. So we first read No Exit by Taylor Adams, and I thought that this one was pretty good. I do want to now read The Last Word by him because I know that's very popular, but I've got quite a lot of books to read before I even consider that. And then we also read Murder on the Orient Express. I really did like this book. I like really loved it, so I definitely want to be reading more by Agatha Christie. But I have still a lot more books to read before I can like buy any of her books. Brave New World. So that is all I have. Hang on. That is all I have for you today. Let me know if you have read any of these books, what you think about any of these books. Yeah, just so we can have like a discussion about them. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Okay, so these are my questions that I had. So the first one is, how did Jay get the gun at the end? Okay, the main character drops the gun, but Jay's then with the plow guy, so how does he get the gun? Like, does she like run back and get it? Like, how does she know that it's gonna fail? Don't know about that. And then how did Sandy and the guys, how did they like meet each other? I'm confused. Like, did they just like, are they related? I was expecting them to be related, but like they're not. Like, how did they meet? Like, was it on a random like website, one of those sketchy ones? I don't know. And did Darby survive? I believe that the ending suggests she does survive, so Darby does survive. Okay, well, this is the end of the spoiler section, so bye.